What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got multiple different things here for you guys in today's episode of our show here. Check this out. We'll start with this here. The Biden Energy Secretary says the U.S. will be at record oil production next year. Here's what she had to say. Check this out.
You have said in recent weeks that you hope gas prices will continue to fall, but now NBC is reporting this morning, and I'm quoting here, behind the scenes, officials worry prices could rise again as they keep looking for ways to get more oil on the market. Given the issues with refinery capacity and the war in Ukraine, can you give us, Secretary, any more certainty that prices will keep falling?
Yeah, as you know, gasoline comes from oil. Oil is traded on a global market, and so we are at the whim, if you will, of what happens globally. However, this president has moved in dramatic ways to increase supply by releasing 1 million barrels per day from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve, as well as calling on our domestic producers as well as international producers. We will be at record amounts of production next year. All of that is to say our Energy Information Administration has projected that by the fourth quarter, gas prices will be around $3.87 on average. Today, they're about $3.78. Today, they're at $3.90. They've fallen every single day of this summer. We're hopeful that that will continue. But if China opens up significantly after COVID, there will be more pressure on demand. More pressure on demand means upward pressure on prices. So we're watching what happens globally, but we are doing everything possible to try to stabilize supply and demand to keep those prices coming down.
Yeah, we say at the bottom of the screen, it says gas prices falling below $4. And I think it's worth noting that in a lot of places around this country, like in California, gas is still right near $6 a gallon. So in different places, different situations. I want to keep going on. This article also goes on, quoting here to say, there is no indication that Biden's other efforts, like publicly shaming oil and gas companies over their record profits, calling an emergency meeting with CEOs, and threatening to pull unused drilling permits, have had any effect on price or production, according to industry experts. So national gas prices, as we said, below $4 nationally on average for the first time since March. But the Treasury Department said last month the releases from the strategic oil reserves only lowered gas by anywhere from 17 cents to 42 cents a gallon. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, the prices have dropped, as you say, more than $1. They are now at $3.90. They were over $5. So clearly there has been an impact on increased production. The president has done two things. The release of 1 million barrels per day is the biggest tool at our disposal. This is all about supply and demand. When Russia invaded Ukraine, that pulled millions of barrels off of the global market. Since oil is traded globally, we have to make up for that lost amount of fuel, and that's why the president has called for this increase in releasing and increase in production. And as I say, we'll be at record production, 12.7 million barrels per day by next year.
So oil production here in the United States will be at record highs by next year. They're saying based on what they can see production going at here right now. And we have seen oil, we have seen gas right now here in the U.S. Based on today's national average gas prices of at $3.90, as you can see right here at the current averages here. Some places a lot less, California a lot more. Some states also more, but California is the main state that brings it a lot higher because they just have much higher gas taxes and also a different blend of fuel. California currently at around $5.32 for the regular gas in California. So still, that's still a lot cheaper than, a month ago was $5.81. Still coming down here pretty significantly. It's about 60 cents in a month. So we're still seeing that come down, but $3.90 here in the U.S. is the national average. Diesel in the fours as well, $4.98. So we're seeing this come down. I've seen a lot of comments in the comment section of people that are nearing $3 a gallon. I've seen a lot of people saying 310, 320. Who will be the first state to say 299? Let me know down in the comments section. Has anybody got there yet? Anybody at 299? I've seen some people say 310, 315, 320 in some areas. So remember, 390 is the blended average of the entire United States. Some places higher. There's a lot of places lower. Remember, California kind of brings that average up a lot higher because they have much higher state taxes and also that different blend of gas that they use there. But oil is on the rise here a little bit. You can see here almost $91 a barrel for WTI crude and $97 a barrel for Brent crude. We reported here recently that natural gas is kind of at an all-time high because of the problems going on in Russia and well, not really so much Ukraine, but kind of. But Russia has kind of cut off natural gas supply to most of Europe, and this is causing the natural gas prices for the entire world to spike up. Okay, even if we don't buy a drop of natural gas, we know that this affects the prices for the entire world. And we're seeing natural gas, which is used for home heating in most of the world, including the United States here. We're seeing natural gas hitting all-time highs for everybody because again, the price of oil, the price of gas, and the price of natural gas is traded on a global basis, guys. This is why we've seen gas or oil go up so much when the war started, or even before the war started, just when Russia put those 100,000 troops on the border. Okay, and we're seeing the same thing here with natural gas as Russia is choking off their supply of natural gas to Europe. Europe really was going to do this anyways. They announced this several months ago that they want to wean off the entire European Union says that they're going to stop doing this anyways, but Russia kind of took a little bit of an initiative here because the European Union announced it. So Russia's kind of trying to fight back a little bit, saying, okay, well, we're going to cut our own supply off here, which is kind of raising the price of natural gas as they're trying to have a kind of a battle back and forth here. And this just kind of shows why the rest of the world needs to be self-reliant without Russia, because you just can't deal with Putin. It's like Hitler 2.0 over there. So you can't rely anything on Russian oil or gas. And this also just shows why you can't also rely on natural gas or gasoline for big government projects. Okay, of course you're going to need it for home heating and cars. If you have a gas car, which 99% of us do, there's only about 1% of Americans that have electric cars, or at less than 1%, I think. So very few people have electric cars. So we need gas for gasoline. Okay, and if you have a natural gas for your heating, a gas furnace, or even a stove, you need gas for your house. But going forward, the government can set up things like solar, wind, and nuclear, which they are. In fact, nuclear has been around for a long, long time in the U.S. Nuclear is about 20% of the United States power right now. It has been for a while. If you didn't know that, 20% of our power comes from nuclear. Wind power was all the way back in March, and it fluctuates a little bit as the days goes by. But wind power was the #2 power for the United States, and solar power has gotten cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as the solar panels, both #1, get cheaper in production, and #2, they get more efficient. And the thing is, I've seen some people say, I don't have solar panels on my home. I wish I did, because it would be really cool. And it's kind of one of those things, if you pay for them, or you can kind of get a loan on them, and then you just pay a monthly payment similar to how you pay your electric bill, which is a monthly payment. But what a lot of people do is they get the solar panels on there, they pay a monthly payment instead of paying an electric bill. which is a monthly payment, and it's kind of the same thing. But you, if the government sets up solar panels or wind or nuclear, they set it up one time and then they basically don't have to pay for it again. Okay, the government can do things like that because the government has lots of money. Okay, well, if you take oil and gas, you have to constantly keep getting that out of the ground. But we still need to do that because we have millions and millions of cars and we have millions and millions of homes that require natural gas. But look at the problem here with Russia and Putin is at the drop of a dime, Putin can make gas go higher just by saying, oh, I'm going to cut off gas to all these different countries and make natural gas spike higher. And if you look at the trend of gasoline, and if you look at the trend of natural gas, it just continues to go higher and higher and higher and higher. So on a government level, for power and power grid, not for cars and not for home heating, but for powering our grid and our power like that. The government should try to bring down the sources of like coal and gas usages because that's one place where we can kind of bring down the supply of using gas there, and we can use other types of sources. You can't use just solar. You can't use just wind, you can't use just nuclear, but combined, you have all those different type of sources, and they're cheaper, and also we can be less reliant on this very expensive uh, type of oil and gas because they're just getting more and more expensive throughout the years. Where these other type of other energy are getting cheaper. Solar panels are getting cheaper. Once you put the solar arrays up, they're just there. They last for many, many years. Put nuclear reactors up, they last for many, many years. And you put up wind farms and they last for many, many years. You don't have to do anything with them. Very, very little maintenance. Where if you get oil and gas out of the ground, it's literally gone as soon as you burn it. But as you've seen here from the energy secretary, and they're right, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, you need to keep drilling for oil. You have to take a multi-pronged approach. We can't just say, oh, only green energy. We can't just say only oil. We need to have both or all of them. Okay. And that's really, you can let me know your thoughts here. You can't just say only green energy and you can't just say only drill, baby, drill. You need both because if you rely on one too much, you're in trouble. And you can't rely on just green energy because how are you going to fuel your car that's not green, right? Less than 1% of the cars are electric. But it is nice to see that they're going to drill more oil than ever next year, which will bring the cost of oil and gas down. And we see the cost of gas coming down significantly now. It's down over $1. What is that? $1.12 since the high, and hopefully it continues to keep going down. In fact, I actually seen this article here from like a day or so ago. America just got $100 a month raise, which is an interesting point of view here. Next time you stop at a gas station, think of it as $100 a month tax cut or maybe $100 a month raise. The steady drop in gas prices over the last few months has turned into an unexpected form of economic stimulus, coming at a time when the Federal Reserve is trying to cool the economy and battle rising prices with higher interest rates. Since hitting a record $5.02 a gallon on June 14th, the national average price for gas is down $1.10 or 22% to $3.92, and it's now down to $3.90, as we just showed, according to AAA. That average has now fallen for 67 consecutive days in a row. I think it's like 68 or 69 days in a row now. Since the typical U.S. household uses about 90 gallons of gas a month, the $1.10 in drop equals $98.82, or basically $100 a month. The impact of extra cash could be a substantial boost to an economy that is showing signs of consumers pulling back on purchasing non-essential items such as clothing electronics, and household goods, and food. Major retailers such as Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and Gap are cutting prices on those items after consumers shifted to more spending on food and gas. And that pullback in consumer spending is one reason why many observers are now forecasting a recession, since consumer spending accounts for nearly 3/4 of U.S. economic activity. A $1 decrease in gas prices, which we just seen, equals about $125 billion a year in savings for U.S. households, or more than $10 billion a month, said Mark Zandi, a chief economist for Moody's Analytics. That's equal to about half a percentage point on the entire nation's gross domestic product. That's a direct benefit. Lower diesel prices bring down the cost of transportation for all goods, including food. If you add in indirect benefits, it's real money. Now, hopefully, we would continue to see this happen, and maybe the increase on oil supply going forward here over the course of the next 12 months will also continue to bring that down. If and when the war with Ukraine and Russia ever ends, that will also hopefully bring that down as well. The problem with that is that Putin shows no signs of stopping at all over there. So that's quite the cause for concern. Imagine if you lived in Ukraine, what it would be like over there. It would be, if you think like prices are bad over here, imagine what it would be like over there. It would be an absolute just worst case scenario. And here's our little ray of sunshine right here. Little Snowy. He brought me a little ball here. Yeah. Over here. You have to look at the camera. I know, you look like a little teddy bear. Yeah. So it's good news that gas is coming down. Hopefully we continue to see it come down. It's such a strange game, but honestly, the trend in gas worries me because I don't think that the price of gas is going to stay down forever. It's one of those things that uh it's just something I just don't think is going to stay low forever. I think it's going to continue to drift high over the course of time. I mean, let me know your thoughts here, because if you just see the writing on the wall, I mean, with inflation and time, uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I wish I got solar panels, several years ago on my home, because it's just, and you paid for it on a monthly basis. Of course, hindsight's 2020. I don't have it, but um, you're such a cutie. But it's just one of those things, man. I just feel like there's gonna be a better solution here, eventually. And same thing with cars. I get that electric vehicles are super expensive right now. I don't have an electric vehicle. Um, but I think that the price of those are going to come down. I think they're going to eventually make affordable electric cars. Just like solar panels used to be very, very expensive, and the price of that is coming down here. I think that the price of those, Chevy and Ford, they're gonna figure out how to make those affordable, and to make yeah, they're gonna figure out how to make those, regular versions of those for regular average everyday people here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So I'll keep you up to date here on a daily basis here. Make sure to subscribe, and give your support for Snowy here by giving us a thumbs up down below here, and I'll keep you up to date. Subscribing is completely free, and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos here, and this way you won't miss out on any videos going forward here. You can click here to see my newest video next, and you can click here to see my newest video on SNAP benefits, food benefits, and back to school money for kids. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.